Hi, so this video is a little bit about cinema history, and the illusion of motion pictures is based on the principle of persistence of vision. So if drawings of the stages of an action are shown in fast succession, the human eye perceives this as a continuous movement. So we're going to look at how motion pictures got their start. This began as a wager between two men, Edward Muybridge, located here on the left, and Leland Stanford, located on the right. And their wager was in 1878. It was responsible for the founding concepts for motion picture cameras and projectors. So between 1872 and 1877, Muybridge was employed by Governor Leland Stanford of California, and he was a zealous racehorse breeder. So Stanford wanted to prove that at some point in its gallop, a running horse lifts all four hooves off the ground at once. In 1877, Muybridge set 12 cameras along a Sacramento racecourse with wires stretched across the track to operate their shutters. And as a horse strode down the track, its hooves tripped each shutter individually to expose a successive photograph of the gallop, which confirmed Stanford's belief. When Muybridge later mounted these images on a rotating disc and projected them on a screen through a magic lantern, they produced a moving picture of the horse at full gallop, as it had actually occurred in life. So this device, the zoogyroscope, was created by Muybridge in 1879, and basically it's a sequential photo projector. So this is what was shot, if you will, by Muybridge with the gyroscope. In Paris, a man by the name of Marais created a gun-like camera that could take 12 pictures per second of a moving object. This was called chronophotography, and this technique captured some frames of movement and combined those into a single image, which you can see shown there on the right. In 1892, Thomas Edison and William Dickinson unveiled the kinetoscope, and this projected moving images onto a screen, but only one at a time. And in 1894, Edison initiated public film screenings called kinetograph parlors. So in other words, they would show these moving images publicly, sort of like a movie theater, if you will. Then Auguste and Louis Lumiere introduced the cinematography. Basically, it was a projector that could show 16 frames per second. So again, it looked very realistic, like what the eye would see. Early cinema from 1893 to 1903. The first films were very simple in form and style. They were really commonplace occurrences like trains or people dancing, animals playing. Until 1903, most films, kind of showed some scenic places. And after making a huge number of films early on, the Lumiere brothers' output diminished, and they stopped making films in 1905. George Millet was a professional magician and was very interested in telling stories, not just showing moving pictures. And in 1896, he purchased a projector from a British inventor, Robert William Paul, and built a camera based on the same mechanics. And in 1897, built his own studio. He adapted old stories, and he wrote his own stories as well. Again, he was a professional magician, and so he kind of came up with some really interesting films. And in between 1890 and 1927, thousands of films, of silent films, were made. So we're going to take a look today at one of George Méliès's film called A Trip to the Moon. And I'm going to ask you to watch the silent film. It's about 13 minutes long. You can find it on YouTube, and I've provided the link for you. You're going to answer the questions in the Google Doc about the story. And so I'm going to ask you to have that done for class tomorrow, and then we'll talk about it and talk a little bit more about some film history. All right, good luck.